Good morning, or afternoon, or evening, drawing friends. We are going to embark on a large assignment, and it is called Food and Feasting. And I love having this image to begin the project. It's kind of humorous and interesting how this portrait was created with a variety of still life objects. All right, so we'll move to the next slide. So again, as always, we want to keep in mind our learning targets. And our learning targets for this project are: I can create an artwork that expresses an idea and demonstrates learning. I can create a collection of artwork, participate in art studio. I can revise my artwork based on feedback. I can reflect on my artwork, and I can analyze my artwork. All right. So, Food and Feasting. This piece is done by Wayne Thiebaud. It's called Pies, 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 1961. Oops, wrong one. And sorry, didn't mean to make you dizzy there. And Wayne does a lot of interesting food imagery and paintings. And he is kind of known as on the edge of pop art because he took food instead of everyday objects, but food is an everyday object. But he just did a lot of repetition and color play with his work. Let's move on here to The Last Supper, painted by Leonardo da Vinci. And so food and feasting and the ideas of food have been around for centuries. And food and still lifes really became important during the Renaissance. And during the Renaissance period, still life objects, often including food, were subtly incorporated into paintings with religious themes. Realism and meticulous details were prized, and in the late 15th century, as interest in strictly religious paintings waned, everyday objects such as vases of flowers became popular by themselves. In the 16th and 17th century, there was an increased interest in scientific examination, and as a result, inanimate objects were studied and depicted by artists in their most realistic form. At the forefront of food painting movement were the Dutch realists, whose impressive kitchens and market paintings featured various displays of food fare on the counters and tables. So this is by William Caff. It is one of many paintings that were painted during this time period depicting lavish banquets for wealthy patrons. And as we move on to modern still life paintings with food, we look at this particular piece by Cezanne. And with this sorry, Franz. With this picture, you can see it consists of food on a small wooden table, draped in a white cloth, which supports a basket containing several pears and apples. And most notably, modern elements in this painting is that the fruit basket appears to sit both on the table and on the floor behind it. So Paul Cézanne was a French artist, and he is renowned for his number of paintings of fruits. He enthusiastically adopted the still life genre, and his still life illustrations are viewed as a mixture of both traditional and modern traditions because of the fruits and vegetables are easy to identify, but modern because they are meant to be decorative items, not exact representations. So Cezanne, this particular piece is entitled Still Life with Fruit Basket, is a good example of stylized representation of food and art. We'll move on to the next one. I am so good at technology. I know I amaze each and every one of you every day. All right. This one is painted by Vincent van Gogh, and he added his own particular style to the genre of still life painting. His series of sunflower paintings are well known, but he is also known to produce many paintings that include food, such as this one below. So, contemporary still life food painting. Oh no! Sorry, Siri went awful. I was talking. How funny. So, contemporary still life food painting, for many artists, the reason for painting such ordinary objects like bread or fruit is simply to demonstrate their compositional skills, lighting techniques, or to show how well they can make these items come to life on canvas. In the past century, artists have taken to depict more contemporary food too. For instance, pop artist Andy Warhol is criticized for a lot of his work, but he brought a lot of issues to being. Like, look at this repetition. You can see me standing in front of this particular piece at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. He painted all these ordinary soup cans created into a repetitious um, composition, but he created and emphasized social issues by painting these ordinary soup cans. So, Ralph Goings, this is entitled A1 Sauce, is simply a collection of condiments on a table illuminated by light from a window. It is a non traditional romantic image, certainly, but the hues, shapes, and composition all work together to create an undeniable mood that captures the viewer's attention. Here's another one by Wayne. I just love Wayne's work. I just am ready to dig into those cakes. Not necessarily the pies, because I'm more of a cake person than a pie person. All right, I got sidetracked by a squirrel. Here we go. All right, so here is two comparisons. Work by Norman Rockwell, and it's famous. It was done in 1942, and it's called Freedom from Want. It is an enthusiastic celebration of the holiday inspired by Roosevelt's 1941 State of the Union address. Just across from it is Roy Lichtenstein's 1961 Turkey, provides a more critical view. The characteristics Ben-Day comic strips Turkey in Lichtenstein's version evokes mechanical reproduction process that questions the value of the holiday itself. The iconic versus the ideal portrait of Thanksgiving shows that freedom from want became superfluous as cultural norms shifted. By Lichtenstein's time, Thanksgiving had become a symbol of packaged holidays, just like food became a symbol of commercialization in pop art. Ooh, fried eggs. Doesn't that look amazing on toast? Delicious. Look at that composition of using those complementary colors. And it almost looks realistic, but not necessarily. Thought I'd throw that in. That's what I had for breakfast this morning. All right, moving on. Your assignment is to come up with a unique and creative food and feasting artwork from your own personal photos, research, and observation. You may do just a straight observational drawing of your food, or you are welcome to put a creative spin on it. How fabulous! So, part one, you're going to create a list of 20 items of food that you like. Once your list is completed, and just as a side note, this list will be turned in, you're going to select 10 of them and that are your favorite. Then from that 10 list, you're going to select 4 and from your highlighted to sketch out. When you begin to sketch out your image, look at the actual food if possible. Take pictures of the food, research on the internet or observation. Also, begin to think about the colors you want to work with. All right, part 2. So, I'm actually going to ask you to do some food observational drawing from home. So you can see here are some samples that other students have done. You are going to take a photo of these. You're going to turn that photo into me, and then you're going to draw your food in color pencil. You will turn this in for a grade. This is just practice, starting to look at the food you may or may not want to do. But you need to start thinking about colors and composition and food. What do you want to do? So, part 3, you're going to do some revisions. You will submit 4 sketches or ideas for your final food drawing. We will critique and analyze them for feedback and revision. Also, submit any reference images that you are using. Remember to be original. We do not want any plagiarism or copy. Based on feedback, you will start your final. Wow! So, here you can see here is some final or in progress drawings of what other students have done from the past. Keep in mind our learning targets again. Don't forget those. And here are some student samples. And I think it's really important to see what other friends have done. This one was a National Scholastic winner. Pretty exciting to see these. Most of these are Minnesota Scholastic Gold or Silver winners. And the size paper that we normally used in the before COVID was 18 by 24, but we will use 14 by 20 or somewhere around there, depending on your composition. I think these are super exciting to see. Lots of creative ideas and problem solving. This one got a little bit on the plagiaristic side, but this kid was crazy about Jiffy peanut butter, and he just begged to do it. So I said, fine. Um, Love the cheesy broccoli and the peppermints. Super clever. Like how the egg went wild. Ooh, this one's a little on the morbid side. Look at the caramel apple and that idea. That triptych is really clever as well. This one was also a National Scholastic winner. Very clever. Look at the spaghetti hair. Oh, how cool is that? But if you can't come up with something, you can just do a straight up drawing. Like this one, you can see this peppers, but look at how they're stitched together. Very interesting. So you got to come up with your own ideas and creative problem solving for this particular project. Love the banana slicing. Every slice you see a different piece of fruit in there. That's kind of funny. And look at the dress made of fruit and spaghetti and lettuce and cherries. All sorts of fun things happening there. So remember, if you can't come up with anything, you can just do a straight observation of fruit. So look at this. This looks like strawberry cheesecake. Delicious. All right. So here are some examples. I can't wait to see what you come up with. It's super exciting. Lots of observational drawing needs to happen. Think outside the box on this project. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel to email. I will certainly do a Google Meetup if needed. All right, have a star quality day, make good choices, and remember that kindness matters in this very big world. Bye, friends.